Hey there! Do you want to talk about the past in English and sound totally natural? Well, you are in exactly the right place. Let's dive in and get this simple past tense for regular verbs figured out fast.
So just think about it for a sec. What did you do yesterday? Maybe you worked, maybe you cooked something, maybe you just watched a movie. To talk about any of those things, you've got to use the simple past tense.
And here's the good news. For most verbs in English, the ones we call regular verbs, there is one super simple rule for talking about something that already happened.
Okay, so the main idea here is that we use the simple past for actions that are completely done, finished. They started in the past and they ended in the past. Just think of it like a closed book. Yesterday's lunch, that meeting from last week, the movie you saw last year. All of it is over and done with.
And here it is, the magic formula. It's so easy. You just take the verb and you stick ed on the end. That's it. And the best part, you don't have to change it for he, she, or they. It's the same for everybody. So simple.
For instance, the verb walk just becomes walked. Now, adding the letters is easy, but how do you say it? This little detail is the real secret to sounding less like a textbook and more like a native speaker.
All right, this right here, this is the secret sauce. It's not just about writing ed, it's all about how you say it. Getting this right will completely change how you sound.
No joke, that one little two-letter ending has three completely different sounds. But once you learn the pattern, and it's a really easy pattern, you'll be able to get it right every single time without even having to think about it.
So here's how it all breaks down. It all comes down to the very last sound of the original verb. If the verb ends in what we call a voiceless sound, like p or k, sounds that are just air, the ed sounds like a sharp t, so walk becomes walked. Now, if the verb ends in a voiced sound, like l or n or any vowel sound, the ones that make your throat vibrate, the ed sounds like a soft d, like in played. And finally, if the verb already ends in a t or a d sound, we add a whole extra syllable, id, so want becomes wanted.
And here's a super cool trick to feel the difference. Come on, try it with me right now. Put your fingers right on your throat. Now make a long L sound. L. Feel that little buzz? That vibration? That's a voiced sound. Okay, now just make a P sound. Pa. See? No vibration, just a puff of air. That's a voiceless sound. This little trick works every single time.
Okay, enough with the rules, right? Theory is great, but let's actually put it into practice. Hearing how these sounds work in real sentences is really the best way to make it all click. Okay, listen carefully to this one. Yesterday, I walked to the park. The verb walk ends in that voiceless k sound, so we add the t sound at the end. Walked, walked. All right, here's our next one. She played the guitar last night. The verb play ends with a vowel sound, which is voiced. You can feel it vibrate. So we add the d sound. Played, played. And here's our third and final sound. We visited our friends 2 days ago. The verb visit already ends in a t sound. So to make it easy to say, we have to add that extra syllable. Visited, visited. See how that works?
You're doing great. Now that you have the basics down, I want to give you a quick bonus tip. This is going to help you skip a really common mistake that a lot of English learners make, especially when they ask questions. Okay, this is so important. When you use the word did to ask a question about the past, did is already doing all the hard work. It's showing us we're talking about the past. So the main verb gets to relax and just stays in its normal original form. You don't add ed to it. It's never did you walked, it's did you walk. Simple as that. All right, let's wrap this all up with a quick and easy checklist. First, for regular verbs, just add ed. Second, always remember those three different sounds, the t, the d, and the id. And third, if you're asking a question with did, you always use the basic original form of the verb. That's your game plan. And just like that, we're right back where we started. But now you have all the tools you need to answer this question perfectly. So go on, try it. Say it out loud right now. What did you do yesterday? Thanks for joining me.